Hello and welcome to Nithrania YouTube channel. My name is Branislav Berec and this is the second part of the video tutorial for the Old King's Crown board game. In the first video we learned how to play the standard rules for the multiplayer game. In this video we're going to learn how to play the solo game against the automated player. The name of that player is Simulacrum. I'm going to call him Sim or just automated player. In order to play the solo game, you need to know the rules for the standard game, for the base game. So if you haven't seen the video yet, please take a look at that video. And in this video, I'm going to explain the rules for this automated player and also slight differences in the sequence of the game. So without any further ado, let's get started. To set the game up, prepare the sim board. First place the Herald token in this space, then place 3 supporter tokens here, and then place all the remaining tokens to the lost pile. Then place the faction markers here, shuffle all the bidding tokens and place the stack face down here. Then take all the advanced faction cards of the sim player, those are the cards with this symbol in the top right hand corner, and note that the sim player doesn't have any HQ cards. Randomly choose 3 of these cards and place them face down on the side of power, and you can return all the remaining advanced faction cards back to the box. Then shuffle the deck of basic faction cards, and until you see this golden icon on top of the card, keep moving the card from top of the deck to the bottom of the deck, and when you find such a card, stop moving the cards and place the deck face down next to the sim board. Then this is Ambition deck, Scheme deck, again shuffle both of them separately and place the decks in their designated spaces. And then take all the Fog cards, shuffle them and randomly choose 6 of these cards, place them here, and you can remove all the remaining cards from the game. Then reveal the topmost card from the Fog deck and place it as the principal threat. More on these threats later during the video. Then take the topmost bidding token without revealing its value and place it on the turn of the track on the first space. The sim player becomes the first player, and place your token on the second space. And that's it. Set the human player up in the same way as you would do in the multiplayer game, and that's the end of the setup. In a solo mode, you will compete against this Simulacrum, sim player, as you would do in a standard 2-player game. The sim player will collect these influence tokens, and the player with the most influence tokens wins the game. The sequence of play is the same as in the standard multiplayer game. There's no change to the human player rules. So I will focus on the sim player, on this virtual player, and explain the rules for that automated player. So as usual, the game starts with the spring phase of the first year because the start of the year phase is skipped in the first year, and the spring phase starts with bidding and resolving the bids. The human player chooses the bidding card as per the standard rules, and the sim player simply takes the topmost bidding token, and the value on the bidding token is the bidding value of the sim player. Bids are resolved in the same way as in the multiplayer game, which means the player with the higher value goes first. In case of a tie, the turn order determines the first player, so in this case the automated player goes first. Now, first thing you do is you reveal the top card of this Ambition deck, which determines all the priorities for the automated player. Note that the top priority, in this case Plateau and this fighting symbol, is also printed on the back of the card, so you get some indication on what's on that card when you make your own choices. Now, if the card has this red bar at the bottom of the card which says automated player will attempt to steal, then the automated player will try to use this value and steal the card from you, from the human opponent. Obviously that is only possible when you have any kingdom cards and the value of that bidding token is higher than the occupying card. In our example we have 6, this is 7, so the steal is not successful. In that case, the automated player will simply gain a card from the Great Road. I'll come to that in a minute. If the value on the bidding token is higher than the value on your occupying card, then the automated player will steal that kingdom card. And if the value on the bidding token is higher than the value on both of your occupying cards, if you have two kingdom cards, then the automated player will look at the symbol, the topmost symbol on the ambition card, and that's the card it will try to steal. So here we have a card with such symbol, so the automated player will steal this card. If there is no card with that symbol, simply move to the next priority symbol and then to the next one until you find a card with that symbol. And if both cards have the same symbol, then this arrow determines which card the automated player takes. In this case, it's the leftmost card, so the automated player will steal this card. Now, when it does, your occupying card goes back into your hand. The stolen kingdom card is placed on the automated player's board and it's occupied by the bidding token. So place the token on that card. The kingdom cards on the automated player's board have no text, no rulings, which means the cards are basically empty. The only thing that matters is this symbol. If both slots are occupied when the automated player gains a new card or steals a card, then again the arrow on the ambition card determines which card and which token is going to be discarded. So discard the token, discard the kingdom card, and place the new card with the new token on that space. If the automated player is not able to steal the card, it will simply gain the card from the Great Road. Again, the symbol on the priority list on this ambition deck will determine which card the automated player will try to take. If it doesn't find cards with that symbol, then it proceeds to the next one and so on. If there are more cards with that symbol, like here we have 1, 2, 3 cards with this sword symbol, then again the arrow on the ambition card determines which card will be taken. In this case it's the leftmost card. So here it's this card on top of the deck and it will be occupied by that bidding token. Immediately after the automated player gains or steals a new kingdom card, it will get bonuses for all kingdom cards it occupies. Based on these suit symbols on those cards, again, as I said, those cards don't have any text. They're treated as a completely blank cards. The only thing that matters is this suit symbol. Those bonuses are shown on your reference card. For a coin symbol, the automated player will simply gain an influence token, and for the sword symbol, it will return 1 supporter token from the lost pile to the automated player's player board. The human player resolves the bidding in the same way as in the multiplayer game. Human player can also steal kingdom cards from the automated player, again using the standard rules. If the value of your card plus any bonuses is higher than the value of the bidding token of the automated player, the bidding token is simply discarded and you steal the kingdom card. Okay, moving on, the next step is placing Herald and cards in regions. In turn order, when the automated player has to place a Herald token, look at the ambition card and look at the top region on that card, and that's where the Herald token will be placed. In this case it's Plateau. Plateau is the middle region, this is Highlands, and this region is called Lowlands. And again, the arrow here indicates into which location the token will be placed. So it's going to Plateau and into the left location. Then when placing the cards, take top 3 cards from the automated player's deck and now arrange them by priority. These cards with the golden symbol are the highest priority. Then the cards with this silver symbol are secondary priority, and cards with this bronze symbol are the lowest priority. So arrange them from the highest to the lowest. In case you have 2 cards of the same priority, keep their relative order. So this is going to be the order of the cards drawn. And now place them into these regions based on these priorities. So this card will go to Plateau, this one to the Highlands, and this one to Lowlands. So Plateau, Highlands, and Lowlands. By the way, the automated player doesn't have any hand. If you need to draw a card from the deck and there's no card remaining, simply reshuffle the discard pile, create the new draw pile, and as you see, the automated player doesn't suffer any attrition. So simply reshuffle the discard pile, create the new draw pile, and continue drawing the cards. Then the next step in this long spring phase is the spring action step. Players also take turns in the turn order, and when the turn comes to the automated player, first reveal the top card of this scheme deck. Notice that it also shows the topmost priority, but in about 25% of cases this is wrong. So this back side of the card may mislead you. It says plateau here, and as you can see, on top of the card we have lowlands. This is intentional. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Then there are two sub-steps. In the first one, you will have to place the fog cards based on the number of these symbols on the principal threat card. As we will see in a minute, there could be additional secondary threat cards here. However, the number of fog cards you place is only determined by the number of these symbols on the principal threat. Ignore the secondary threats for the moment. So here we have two symbols, which means the fog cards will be placed in lowlands and plateau. Take one card, keep it face down for each region, and place these fog cards face down into these regions. These fog cards are just markers which indicate where all these threats will be applied. You can have maximum one fog card in each region. These cards cannot be targeted. These are really just markers. If there is a region which already has a fog card and you need to add another one there, simply place that card to the bottom of the fog deck. So let me quickly talk about these threats. There is one principal threat. There can only be maximum one. It affects the number of fog cards placed in regions. And it also has a special effect, some kind of a rule, which affects all the regions with those fog cards. If there are any secondary threats, the text on these cards also affect all the regions with the fog cards. However, these symbols at the bottom of the card don't apply, and you can have unlimited number of these secondary threats, although it's quite rare that you would have more than two. Then, similar to human player, the automated player will also trigger this action, which is placing supporters in regions. Again, refer to the scheme card. If the scheme card has only one of these symbols, then place all the supporters here in that region. So in our example, we have 4 supporter tokens and they will all go to the lowlands. So place all the tokens in the indicated region. If the scheme card has these supporter icons in all regions, then keep placing one token after another into the first region, then the next one, then the lowest, and then again from the first one to the second, and so on. So here we have highlands, lowlands, plateau, highlands, lowlands, plateau. We have 4 tokens. So it goes highlands, lowlands, plateau, then again highlands. The next would go to lowlands, and so on. The automated player always places all of their supporters. Then if the automated player has any spring actions or commands, activate them in any order you want. But again, let me remind you that the text on these kingdom cards is treated as blank. There are no actions on these kingdom cards. The human player places the herald, supporters and cards in the same way as in the multiplayer game, and that's the end of the spring phase. In the summer phase, the first step is to place all these clash markers into regions. If the human player is the last player, then the human player will determine where these clash tokens go. If the last player is the automated player, then the clash markers are placed based on the priorities on the scheme deck. For example, here we have plateau, lowlands, highlands. So plateau, lowlands, highlands. And then all the clashes are resolved in the same way as in the multiplayer game. So first of all, reveal all the cards in that region. If there are any fog effects, don't forget to apply those effects from the threat cards. Then after revealing the cards, it's the day action step. It's performed in a turn order. Human player performs day actions in a standard way. automated player performs all the day actions, and you can decide in which order all these day actions are going to be resolved. Then in the night effect step, again, all the night effects are resolved simultaneously, they're all mandatory. And then tally the strength and declare the outcome of the clash. Make sure you don't forget to apply all these threat effects in case they affect the outcome of the clash. And then the winner of the clash will take rewards. If there is a tie, in turn order, players have a chance to add new cards to the clash. You can add a card or pass. The automated player will always add another card to the clash. When you resolve the new clash, similar to the standard rules, the supporters which took place in the previous clash are not counted. However, all the threats still apply if the clash takes place in a region with the fog card. Then if the winner of the clash is the human player takes the location rewards in the standard way. If the winner is the automated player, then the automated player has to choose the location. That is determined by the ambition card and by this arrow. In this case, it's the left location, which means the harvest field. And here's one major difference. The automated player takes the rewards printed on this reference sheet. It completely ignores the rewards printed on the game board, so always follow these rewards on the reference sheet. If the automated player has the Herald in that location, it gains 1 influence. This is taken from the general supply. If the human player is in the same location, then the automated player steals 1 influence from the human player. So this is basically the same as in the multiplayer rules. However, on top of that, if the automated player has any influence tokens in the Council of Relics, it gains the influence equal to the number of influence tokens here. So that's another 3 tokens. And then remove 1 influence token from the Council of Relics and return it back to the general supply. I will come to these relics in a minute. In the harvest field location, the automated player can also gain the Kingdom's Favor token. The automated player doesn't rotate the token when it triggers the ability. However, it can be taken by the human player as in the standard multiplayer game. Then continue resolving all the remaining clashes in all other regions. Don't forget to apply the threats in regions with the fog cards. And when all the regions are resolved, we can move to the autumn phase. In autumn phase, players also take turns in the turn order, and when it comes to the automated player will trigger all these autumn effects and abilities and commands. You trigger them in any order you want, and then the automated player will perform the govern action. It will place 1 influence token in the council with the symbol which is the highest priority symbol on the ambition card. Here it's this symbol, so the influence token goes to the Council of Oaths. Then resolve the Council of Secrets and Council of Oaths if they have any influence tokens. For the sake of explanation, let's say we have 1 influence token in the Council of Oaths and 2 influence tokens in the Council of Secrets. As you can see, the automated player doesn't place any faction cards in these councils. The faction cards are replaced by the influence tokens. The Council of Relics is triggered when the automated player wins the clash, and the Council of Secrets allows the automated player to place these faction markers. The number of these faction markers is the same as the number of influence tokens in the Council of Secrets, and they are placed on the game board. If there are no markers on the game board, then they go into the location with the automated player's Herald. If there are any faction markers of the automated player on the game board, then the new markers go to the same location. And if you place the new faction markers into location and there are already 4 action markers, place all the remaining faction markers into a region where the automated player's Herald token is located. By the way, it can be the same location if the Herald is in the same location as all these markers. Now, if any location has 4 faction markers, remove these markers and immediately resolve the location reward for that location. Markers are placed back on the automated player's board, And these location rewards are these special location rewards printed on the reference card, including the influence token. So the automated player can gain influence tokens in this case. When the automated player triggers the Council of Oaths, for each influence token here, they can return one supporter from the lost pile back to the automated player's player board. If there are no supporters in the lost pile, then from the map. Similar to human player, if the automated player has the most influence tokens or more influence tokens than the human player's Gevels, then the automated player would be able to gain additional supporter from the lost pile. Now, if the human player has a chance to remove the opponent's cards from the council, instead of removing cards, it will remove the influence tokens. If you can remove one card, you simply remove one influence token. If for some reason you can remove all the cards, then you remove all the influence tokens. And finally, as the last step, the automated player performs the journey action, which is simply adding one lore token to their supply. As soon as the automated player has 3 lore tokens, remove them back to the general supply, take the top card from the side of power and place it on top of the deck. And in case there are still 3 or more tokens remaining here, remove the 3 additional lore tokens, place another card on top of the deck until there are less than 3 lore tokens in their supply. If all these advanced cards are placed to the deck, the automated player gains this winter ability. And coming to the winter, again, all these winter effects are activated. They're all mandatory. The heralds are moved back to the respective player's boards. In this case, the herald token goes to the automated player's board. Then the supporter tokens. 3 supporter tokens from the map are returned back to the automated player's board. All the remaining ones go to the lost pile. Then all the cards are discarded. If the card has any influence tokens on it, remove one influence token from that card and keep the card on the game board. All the fog cards are discarded together with all the threat cards. Now shuffle these cards and place them shuffled to the bottom of the fog deck. Finally, the topmost ambition card is moved to the bottom of the ambition deck, and the same applies to scheme card. It is also placed to the bottom of the scheme deck. Then at the beginning of the next round, in the start of the year phase, the automated player doesn't draw any cards. Instead, simply reveal the topmost card from the fog deck, and that becomes the new threat, the principal threat. If the automated player has the Kingdom's Favor token, reveal another card, and this will become a secondary threat, and then adjust the player order based on the number of influence tokens they both have. Then proceed to the spring phase. The game ends at the end of the last round. The player with the most influence tokens wins the game. In case of a tie, the player with the Kingdom's Favor token wins the game, and if no one has this token, then the winner is determined by the player order. The player higher in the turn order wins the game. When you get more familiar with the game, you can start using these Forge cards. They bring new playstyles and new behavior for the automated player. They are double-sided. They may increase the difficulty with these red arrows or decrease the difficulty with the blue arrows. These arrows actually determine something which is called heat. There is no limit to the number of these cards you can use in any game. When you choose these cards, apply all these effects on all these cards, and then sum up these red arrows, then subtract the blue arrows, and that determines the heat. It can be a positive number or a negative number. In our example, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, minus 1, that is 8. The higher the number, the higher the difficulty of the game. You can find these difficulty levels at the back of the rulebook based on this table here. And when you win the game, based on the heat and based on the points difference between you and the automated player, you may also claim some trophies. This is the heat level, so from lowest to highest, and this is the points difference 1 to 9, 10 plus, 15 plus. So for example, if you are at a 6 to 9, which we are with all these arrows, we are at heat 8. And if you win by 10 points or more, you gain these trophies. And this is how you can track your achievements. And you can also find a way how to calculate the final score in your solo games. You can find some pre-built automated players in the rulebook. You can create your own one. You can share your own created designs. And that's all you need to know to play the game in a solo mode. So that's how we play the Old King's Crown in a solo mode. At the very back of the rulebook, you will also find the instructions how to incorporate this automated player in a multiplayer game. So if you play like a 2 or 3 player game, you can also add the automated player. The rulebook gives you instructions how to play in a competitive game, how to play even cooperatively. So I'll leave it up to you to look at those rules. If you have any other questions, I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. And I hope you enjoyed these videos. Enjoy the game. You've been watching Game in a Nutshell, the video tutorial for the Old King's Crown board game published by Eerie Idle Games. My name is Branislav Berec and hope to see you next time.